Hey guys, today what I want to do is I want to talk about a topic that's rather unusual among car spotters. Some of the most annoying things that you have to deal with on the profession. Now, car spotting itself can be really fun. It's more like a lifestyle than just a hobby. You will never feel this close to supercars in your life, and it is a blast. But like everything else, there are downsides to it. The first one we're going to get into is traffic. Now this one really plays its part rather at car shows than street car spotting, especially when the cars are leaving the event. These shows are usually on Sundays, and depending on when they end, there might be heavy traffic. Now I understand that roads are free for everyone to use, not just gearheads. It is inevitable. Traffic will often prevent accelerations and hard pullouts, and sometimes cars can even get in the way. Again, this is something we can't control. What are you going to do? Sometimes there's heavy traffic. Now another unfriendly obstacle we're going to talk about is the weather. Now supercars and rain usually do not mix, and weather is car spotters' #1 enemy. When we check the forecast for a show and the weather doesn't look friendly, it's not good. A lot of owners won't bring out their cars, a lot of them will get scared away. Car shows won't be as good. Due to the wet surface, there won't be as much accelerations. Also, it can be a pain in the ass to shoot itself. I mean, I'm gonna have to hold an umbrella with one hand and shoot with the other because the camera that I'm using is not waterproof. Street car spotting won't be as good, as many owners will keep their cars tucked in the garage during weathers like this. The third annoyance that we're going to get into is actually something really common. It's often happened in shows. We're going. An action goes on and you're not there. You hear it in the distance, rev, acceleration, and you're not there. Now again, this is also inevitable. It will happen because car shows that I go to are big. And whether you're at these events or spotting cars on the street, you'll often miss cool cars and action that somebody else is lucky enough to catch on their camera and show it to you. Now the fourth one we're going to talk about is no action. The coolest thing about the car shows I go to are usually the accelerations when the cars leave at the end of the event. Now things like cops and weather can prevent this from happening. In some shows, cops are stationed at the exit of the events for public safety, which I don't completely disagree, but it kind of kills the fun for everybody else. Heavy traffic can also play a role, as well as an exit that leads to a quiet, small, or very tight road that doesn't have adequate room for drivers to get on it. Next up, batteries. Now this is often a problem not just in street car spotting, but also car shows. Some of the events can be so long that all three of the external batteries for my camera might not be enough. Now I've been using these camera and batteries for like 16 to 17 months. The battery life since then has been reduced a lot, from about 120 minutes to about 85 minutes. So each battery doesn't last as much anymore. Now all three of these batteries are more like two new batteries combined, and that's not that great because it only gives you about 4 hours of recording time, and I do record a lot of footage. I will eventually have to get more batteries for this camera, but until then I'm gonna have to use my iPhone 6 Plus as a backup camera once all these batteries run out, which I often do if you notice in a lot of my videos where some clips have less audio quality. Next up, off-season. Now a lot of you who live on a certain latitude like I do here in New York, you pretty much know what I'm talking about. In the winters, there's pretty much no action. There's no car spotting, there's no car shows. Majority of exotics are kept in their garage for the winter, and the cold weather just doesn't apply well to most supercars. So between the months of December and March, there's pretty much no car shows or any cars out on the road at all. If there is any, it isn't much, and there is nothing crazy. Between March and April, shows slowly start to pick up and cars start coming out more often. But once April hits, season's on. Now, numero siete is something that's, again, a little bit inevitable, and that is the people at the show. Now, the thing is, these shows are not just made for, camera guys like us. It's made for everybody. It's made for the public. Everybody has a right to come and enjoy these shows, and unfortunately, sometimes there can be a lot of people, and you can barely film anything at all throughout the day. This can be quite a challenge. It can also kill the vibe and your enjoyment while you're recording these cars.
Sorry, you're fine, no problem.
Number 8, hit or a miss. Now on street car spotting, this means the days are either going to be good, you're going to see some really cool or crazy cars, or you're not barely going to see anything at all. And in Greenwich, where I usually car spot, that is normally what happens. It is very random, and on certain days you can see lots of cool hypercars like La Ferraris, P1s, 918s, Wyros, whatever. And on other days you'll barely see anything better than a 458 Italia. Now weather seems to play a major role in this, but on certain days even when it's really sunny and nice out, it'll still be a bad day, and that's something that we really don't get. It's just something unpredictable. And especially for someone like me who doesn't have a car, the distance and the travel time that's involved, it's not always worth it. And every time I go to Greenwich, I take a risk. And travel is the next and last one we're going to get into. Now, again, like I said, I don't have a car. I plan to get a car maybe by next year, we don't know. But until then, I'm going to have to travel to these shows by trains. And that takes longer than driving, because you get off one train and you get onto the other train, and that's a hassle. Driving to Greenwich with a car will take less than an hour on a good day. With the train, the entire commute is 2.5 to 3 hours. One day I will definitely grow this channel to a point where it will cover all my car expenses, so I can actually have a car, so I can get to all these places a lot faster. It would be easier for me to provide you with awesome supercar content, so be sure to subscribe, join my adventures, browse the videos on my channel if you have time, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.